somebody grabbed me. We was in the section. I got grabbed. And I was like, "Hi, you know, I'm not rude. I'm not, but like, don't grab me."
Right.
And so I'm like, she was like, "Oh, what's your name?" I was like, "Oh Lordy, here we go." So I said, "Guys, is this what I think it is?" And like, I'm not. I said to them, they said, "Bro, you are hilarious." Because I'm not.
You didn't know.
I'm not. I don't know. I'm not going for that.
Right.
I didn't care.
This is the moment we've all been waiting for. It's time! Presenting the champion of the world, Hell, WamBam, Benamino!
Yo, it's your boy. It's Phil WamBam Benamino, and it's another WamBam Wednesday. You know, the show about ordinary people who have done extraordinary things. As always, today's no different. But before we get into the show, as you know, the show is free. All we ask is that you please subscribe. Go down there, click the little alert button, get all of our new material, subscribe, like it, share it. Tell us what you don't like. Whatever it is, we're going to listen. It's very important to us so we can continue to give you the good content and pump out this stuff. Today's guest, I have offensive lineman. That's right. Big boys in the house from Seattle Seahawks. McClendon Curtis is in the house. McClendon, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you today?
I'm doing awesome, man. I can't thank you enough for being here today. Is that chair big enough for you, man? I tried to get the biggest chair we had in here for you, man.
Hey, look, I wanted to get some of these. You know, these are comfy. I like.
Yeah, you like those 6'6", 340. That's a house, baby. You're a house.
Yes, sir. Most definitely.
So is that why I guess you're named the Big Curtis there in town, huh?
I mean, it's been since I was a little kid. Even Big Curt. It started off as Baby Shaq.
Baby Shaq?
Baby Shaq was my thing when I was younger. Everybody was like, he is tall for his age.
Now I gotta ask you, did you play basketball?
I did.
You did? Did you suck at the free throw line like Shaq did? Oh, okay. So you didn't get it like that?
Clutch. I was clutch.
You were clutch? Okay. What was that like playing basketball? God, thinking about that, 6'6", 300. Were you that big in high school?
I was about 3'11".
3'11".
3'11".
Hard to move around. A little boxing out in there.
Yeah. Rebounds. I would say I averaged like 15 rebounds. In high school, AU was more so, my stat would be more so like 25 and 20.
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoy basketball. It just helped me go against the little guys. That's how I look at it. Just move around. They quick and fast. So, shoot, offensive line, you playing against quick and fast guys.
Yeah. Now, is that something that was basketball something you like better than football, or was football your sport?
At the time, before I got to this point, basketball is something I like way better.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to be a hooper.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Okay.
I was a hooper, but somebody said, you should play football again, because I played football until my junior year in high school, and then after that, I was done. I was done junior year, then I played senior year, and my coach had got me 4 Division I offers before I even played football again.
Really? So basically, you weren't all bought in on football. You were just doing it because you felt like somebody told you, hey, you should do it, and you're big and you're good at it.
Yeah, and that was, I want to say I lost love for it around my sophomore year.
Why is that?
One of the coaches when I was in private school I ran into, it was more so politics. I just felt like I was playing nose guard. I enjoyed nose guard. I was a defensive lineman, enjoyed that, and I felt like it just wasn't the match, And I went to a private school for free, and when you go for free and other kids, parents who are paying their kids are playing, politics come into play. So I left, and I feel like that was the best thing for me to go back to public school, and I enjoyed it.
Wow. So here you are, a kid in school, high school, people wanting you to play ball, and you're like, hey, man, I'm not doing it. I'm done.
Yeah.
That's it. I bet you broke some hearts that day.
Shoot, I don't know if I did or not. They expected me to be at school. Private school starts before public, so they were like, you better be in school the next day. Well, I ain't show up. They knew I wasn't playing.
Yeah. Tell the viewers real quick, born and raised where?
I was born in Calhoun, Georgia, and I was raised in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Chattanooga, Tennessee. And you actually went to college there.
Yes.
Went to college there. You're a little hometown hero over there, man.
Yeah, man. It was a different world, which is hilarious to me. I never really spent time. I would go downtown on the weekends with my friends and my brothers, but besides that, it felt so different being down there on campus.
Yeah. Now, playing in your very first college game, do you remember who it was against and what it was like and what the feeling was coming out on the field?
I think my first real game, like starting, I think it was Jacksonville State.
Yeah.
Jacksonville State was my first start, and we were rotating still. They were trying to see, it was a new coaching staff. Coach Wright and his guys just had got there. And I did pretty well. I knew I had to be aggressive, but I didn't have all the technique, but I played hard. And then the biggest game I ran into was that Tennessee game.
Yeah.
We played Tennessee, I think, a game or two later, and it was fun for me because I never got to play guys my size.
Yeah,
So,
I bet you when you walked in, that was it a home game or away game?
It was at Tennessee.
It was at Tennessee, so their stadium's sick, right? You walk in there, they had some fans there.
Fans, it was you couldn't hear on third down, and I mean it was packed. It was literally packed.
Now, did you think then, when here you are in Tennessee, you're amongst all these people, that today, which isn't very far away, it was only a few years ago, right? I mean, you're young. What are you, 24?
24.
24. So you're just getting started in your career and stuff. But do you think you would be in the Seattle Seahawks right now as a Seattle Seahawk in NFL? Did you think that was going to happen?
I did not, man. I was literally, that's my favorite team between them.
Was it really?
I promise you. I wanted the
No way.
I wanted the block for Russ, man. Russ and then the Legion of Boom was like, oh my goodness. And at the time I wasn't an O lineman, so I ain't gonna say block for Russ. I was more of a D lineman, and the defense was fire. I like how the Packers O line played and everything like that, so I would watch them as I start playing O line.
Gotcha. Wow. So you are actually a Seattle Seahawk fan. Now that's pretty interesting. That's cool, especially being a Southern boy. You know, that's not normally a place where people look. You know, being a Southern boy, did you ever look? You know, colleges like Georgia. You said you're originally from Georgia, Calhoun, Alabama, and any of them schools come up to mind at all? Or?
I did. My uncle actually played with Herschel Walker at Georgia, so I wanted to play at Georgia, but I knew I messed myself up when I didn't play for my junior year. When I missed my junior year on the field, and I know that's important in high school, I missed that year, and my coach goes, you know, I had my boy at Georgia looking at you. But God works everything out for a reason.
That's right. I do believe that for sure. You know, I think about that. You know, kids, so junior year, you're not playing ball. Senior year, you decide I'm going to play again. And then boom, fast forward 4, 5, 6 years later, and here you are in the NFL playing. Now, tell us a little bit about that journey. I know you came out of college fresh. I know, you know, was it something going to the combine, something you wanted to do at that point in time? Were you like, okay, football is something I want to pursue? Or did you go to college just to play a little ball, get a little education, you know, and have a little fun? What was the truth?
I'll be honest with you. It started off as just getting my education and just really wanted to play college ball. From that point forward, I was really big into my academics and also being accountable elsewhere. It wasn't until, I want to say, my junior day when the Seahawks scout, he was for that area. So NFL has a system where they have 2 sets of scouts that they cover certain parts of the country. And he said, McClendon, you can really do this. And at the time, Coach Strange, which is my best guy, he pretty much took me under his wing. He was like, he's saying you can do it. And the coach was already like making me live for him. But I got to that point where I wanted it more. And I was like, he was pushing me, I'm pushing him. And then we had to get a point where we were pushing others. And as time goes on, I was just locked in on that. I didn't care about the agent stuff. When that time came around, I was just like, I'm here where I am. Focus where you are, be that light with those guys around you, like uplift them. So that was my thing, man. And I just put my head down and worked.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say never. I love working. I love running. As a big guy, people always like, what? I like running.
Yeah.
You know, John and Gannon, when they working me out and everything, you'll hear me say, we do conditioning. I'm like, okay.
I know you're working with the boys on there, Peak Kinetic. Big shout out to them, man. They were actually on our pod not too long ago. Great guys, man. Good people to be around. And, you're definitely getting tuned up, man. You look great. Do you have a problem keeping weight on?
Not really.
No?
Sometimes, I ain't gonna lie, sometimes in the summer in camp, yeah, that's when it's hard. But for me, I just feel like it's fine. Just knock a little LBs off, because in the season, wintertime, you naturally gonna gain weight.
Yeah.
So that's the thing.
Now, is that something that, being in the NFL, like we had Ali Moppet was on our show not too long ago, Tampa Bay Buccaneers lineman, and he had a hard time keeping weight on. He had to constantly gain weight. Coming from a Division III school, it was a great story, and being a Super Bowl champ, Pro Bowler, and so forth. He's lost over 100 pounds now since he's retired, just at 27 years old, which is, absolutely amazing. But one of the things that he always said was, you had to get the weight. He constantly had to eat, which made him diet a lot easier for him because he was already used to having an eating schedule. So now it was just kind of a what to eat during that schedule, type of thing. So, but is that something they really focus on? Like they want you to weigh a certain amount?
Yes, every organization is different. So in Vegas, I had to be under 335. If I touched 336, it was okay. But if I was over 5, that was $700 per pound.
Wow. So they find you.
They find you. And then like if guys are like 10 pounds under, they
don't let my Italian mother, don't tell her that. I'd have got fined left and right then.
Man, look, they going to knock it off of you. And Vegas had the new facility. So like the hot tub was extremely hot. So I made sure in the morning, touch the hot tub before I ate breakfast, get it that weight in. You
had a plan. You had a system.
Big boys gotta have a plan.
So now obviously you went into the draft. You didn't get drafted. You actually were undrafted. But then you got picked up by the Vegas the Raiders.
Yeah.
What was that like? Now you're sitting there going, for the first time, I'm playing for the big boys. And you're with the Raiders, one of the nastiest defenses. You said you're a defensive-minded guy and stuff. What was that like?
It was crazy because I got the whole experience. I went Senior Bowl, I went Combine, all that. And, you think you having high hopes and high probability because guys are like, coaches like, I really like you, or GM's like, I really like you. And draft day came around, I was sitting with family, and we had a party. We had a party, not the first round. Like, I'm not, my boy Cole went first round, but, I had more day 2 thoughts, day 2, day 3. And as it went by, I was like, all right. And everybody was like, man, I couldn't do this. Like, everybody's hearing you not drafted yet. And I'm like, it is what it is. Like, whatever's going to happen is going to happen for a reason. And so from that point forward, I started getting calls towards, I think, 5th, 6th round. And it was like Dallas made the first offer. Dallas was like, hey, like, we like you. And they had, like, picks left, too. And, if we don't use them, maybe we look at using them on you. And, like, what about free agency? And theirs was, like, 5,000 sign-up bonus, 25 guaranteed. So when they say the guarantee part, if I never play football again, they give me $25,000.
Gotcha.
Then Kansas City called. Kansas City said, hey, we got 20 sign-up bonus, 100K guaranteed. And
started to get a little better.
Started getting a little better. Well, Kansas City didn't, if, like I said, they didn't keep me, be 100K, or if I didn't make that much. And then Vegas came with the highest offer of all. It was 25 guaranteed, 25 signing, and then 185 guaranteed.
Gotcha.
So I went to Vegas, took them, and I was like, let's see what happens. And I was there the whole time. I was on practice squad, and it was funny when I got the call. It was after week 1. We played Denver, we won. We went to I can't even think of the place. It's where they keep all the not military, but congressmen out in Virginia. It's middle of nowhere, no Ubers or anything.
Yeah.
And my agent calls me. I'm thinking I'm about to get cut. And he says, Seattle wants to bring you on their active roster. Well, I gave Vegas a chance to match it. And Vegas couldn't guarantee it. Now, the assistant GM wanted to guarantee it because he was the one that I feel like, put his word in mouth and put word in mouth for me to keep me there. So I went with Seattle. Pete called me and everything, and from week 2 the rest of the season I was active. I played a little bit week 5, and I didn't really play a lot. I played field goal, but
oh yeah, sorry, you got on the field, man. You had to make a presence.
Look, I was happy to do it because who can say they played in the NFL game?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not many people, so
that's right. Not only that, but you got paid for it too.
That's true. It was a blessing, man. I was happy. Like, God has blessed me, and it was crazy how all that got to that point. The behind the scenes of what I just told you, it was just crazy.
Yeah. Well, you know what? And it's interesting because a lot of the behind the scenes people don't know. And, you talk about the money, you talk about the guarantee, the sign-on bonus and that stuff. Did that really play a huge part in that? Let's be honest. If Buffalo Bills was the highest one, but it's freezing cold there and you got to go play in Buffalo, would you have done it? Would it have been to the highest bidder, or was there anything else that really played into that? Or did you not care? You're like, hey, I gotta get paid first to make sure, and once I get there, I'll do the rest.
I just looked at the options, man. Kansas City had Humphreys. He had Humphrey. You got Smith. You got Donovan Smith. Who else is there? They got all those guys, and I know they brought some of them 1 years, but me, I'm like, bro, I'm trying to play in the interior. And I was like, Vegas, okay, at the time it was like, okay, it's a possibility. Like, I might get to pop in and play, but shoot, as you see, everything happens for a reason. And you see how the mechanics work. I was looking at the roster. That's what I was looking at.
Right. Okay. So that plays into the part, because at the end of the day, you're not just wanting to get paid. You want, because I think some people, they perceive that, like some of the athletes that are out there, especially they put in their time, it is a job. And, obviously, your health and how long you can actually perform at your job. And we all know what NFL stands for, right?
Yeah.
Not for long, right? Type of thing. And the reason why they say that is because they know that, eventually you got to move on to something else in life. So I think a lot of people, feel like there's this stigma that players aren't really giving it their all, or they're giving everything because they're worried about getting hurt, or they're worried about just securing their position, their job, or just to kind of get paid. So being you're young, you're on the other spectrum of it all. You're trying to say, hey, I want to see the field. Get me out there and let me show you what I can do.
Yeah, and guys, what depending on what team, like I said, you go to. Some guys, if you're not a first round pick, if you're not first 4, maybe 5 rounds. It gets really hard because there will be some vets, and these are stories I've been told. I haven't experienced it personally, but vets that will try to like sabotage you or not be as welcoming in the room because that's how they feed their family. They'll be like, "Oh, go do this tonight," and like you go because you're a rookie.
Right.
But like the vets don't get messed up, you get messed up, and then now if you're not a guy that's able to bounce back or accountable, accountable to be on time, you may miss and lose your job. And that vet did what he needed to do to keep his job. Now it's most of the time it doesn't happen like that. That's, I don't know, maybe like 5, maybe less than 5% of the time. But a lot of times it's just all the guys are mostly gelled together because they understand it's a hustle, it's a job, it's a cutthroat business, and you have to be really on your stuff every day. And like good vets, if you're a good person, your blessings are gonna come to you regardless. Like you're gonna want to see everyone win because there's enough money in teams to be around. You know what I'm saying? Of course. So that's how I look at it.
And obviously you got to make each other better.
Oh yeah.
So you pretty much learn that. But you know what? It is interesting to hear that because there is that other side. And like you said, it's like, hey, I got to feed my family. You don't know. Everybody's got a story, right? Everybody's got something going on at home that supersedes what's happening on the field. Yeah. And you got to think about that. As a man, you're trying to provide, for your kids, for your family. You're trying to grow. And yeah, that job may come down to you or him. And they're saying, hey, what can I do instead of rising up to make sure I'm better? Yeah. Let me try to knock him down. So it can happen. I can see how that can happen. What was it like being a rookie? Is it harder in there? Is there a lot of pressure on you? And how do the people treat you? Like, you walk in there and there's people that they've signed for $100 million, and stuff, and you're sitting there and you're just trying. You got your 100,000 guarantee. You're just trying to get paid, right, and try to make your name for yourself. Is there any pressure with that, or how do they treat you? Or do they treat you a little bit less, like you're nobody?
I got treated how everybody else got treated in Vegas and Seattle. And I'll say this, as an undrafted guy, there was me and this other old lineman in the room named Dalton, my boy Dalton. And the funny thing is, we will always say, you can get away with that. Draft picks can get away with certain things. They can move certain ways, do certain things, be hurt, all that. Now, undrafted guys, it's like we cut you a medical check and you done, you know what I'm saying, until you get back. It's for real.
Really, cut and dry.
Yeah, because the draft picks, agents, if your agent's really good, they're going to make sure you're guaranteed, especially like the first 3 rounds, 4 round maybe, you know what I'm saying?
Damn, you got to be mentally ready for that stuff then at every time. Is this something they teach you through college or teach you through the agent? Like, is this something that you knew going into this? Like, hey, be prepared, this could happen? Because it is a business at the end of the day.
True, but they have stuff where they teach rookies stuff in in your organization, depending on player personnel, how well they are. It's like life lessons, man. And like you said, like $100 million contract guy, like me and Max Crosby. Max is great. Max is going to speak to everybody. I've been to Max's house. Max is real nice. Like, he helped me get better. I ain't gonna lie.
I love to hear that because I love that guy. I love that guy. His work ethics.
He was a dog, and like
he is a dog.
The days we didn't have to be in there as rookies, I was in there. He was in there. I saw him in there, and so like I was around him. Even like I'm talking to him, I'm playing right tackle. Never played right tackle before in my life, and me going against Max every day, I was like, I just say, get me better. And it's not like people like, oh, Max is like, he doesn't look strong, but he is strong. He's he's long.
Right.
He's 6'5".
Yeah.
He's long. He's twitchy. Like, you can't just run out there and Max. Max is going to make the play.
Hey folks, this is WamBam at WamBams Podcast. I want to take a moment to thank our major sponsor, Cost Plus Processing, the leader in merchant processing. If you're a business owner and you're accepting credit cards or need to accept credit cards, reach out to Cost Plus Processing at 1-855-391-9190. That's 1-855-391-9190. And find out why they are the future in merchant processing. Now back to the show.
So I had to learn. Like, I was frustrated a lot of times, but like it made going against any other defensive end, while going against in Seattle wasn't that bad because Max Crosby.
Right. That's right. Yeah. No, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
No better way to sharpen your iron than with iron, right?
He was a dog, and he is a dog. Not was. He is a dog.
Right.
Him, and then going against seeing like Devontae Adams like compete. Seeing those guys like Colton Miller up at the left tackle, like showing me how to play tackle, him, Thayer Mumford, all those guys showed me how to play tackle because I never really played right tackle. And it was like for a preseason game, I had to play right tackle a few snaps. Yeah. And it was hilarious. They were like, this how you do it, and I'm forever grateful to those guys. So it was just a journey in Vegas. Vegas was more so like homey. Like everyone's together in that room for the most part. And then Seattle, it's like young. So everyone's like still trying to get their money, trying to get theirs. New guys come in week 2, like what they going to do. Like I understand, like it was a different perspective. I went from this to, like I'm outside the bubble.
Right.
Trying to figure out things.
You got to adjust.
Yeah.
And adjust quick.
Yeah.
Especially with coaches too. What is that like? You learn a system. Mm-hmm. You got a coach you really enjoy, you like. You're vibing with them. You're on point, and then boom, pack your bags. You're on your way out. Yeah. And you're into a whole new system, a whole new coaching staff. How hard is that to adjust and with different things? Or is the NFL? There's still a lot of similarities into team to team when it comes to what you're doing on the O-line.
Well, I was blessed enough to go to the hardest offense you can learn, which is the Patriot offense. So that's what I was into at first. Now, I wasn't crazy hard as I started learning it, but it's very complex. When I got to Seattle, it's more simplified.
What's complex about it?
It is, we make things in a way harder than it needs to be sometimes. So
give an example to viewers.
Let's see. I want to say, I was trying to see if I remember a play.
Because everybody thinks, you guys just drop back, you do a little pass block, and boom. Every now and then you push somebody to the right, you push them to the left, slide right, slide left, Yeah,
so you got 50, 60, 70, 80s, and 90s protection. And every protection is different. So 50s is like quick game. 60s, I believe, it was like I'm thinking 50s was a 5-man first. It wasn't 5-man
front.
It wasn't 5-man.
No. So you thought 50 man, you got 5 people protecting.
Yeah. And that ain't 5-man. 70s was 6-man pro. 80s or 90s was max. So like everybody's in there pretty much, but every pro was different. So for instance, say you're the linebacker and I'm the offensive lineman. The center's gonna say we're IDing you. All right, so the 3 on the right side have a triangle, basically. You have your shade, you have your linebacker, and your defensive end. And now if somebody adds faster, if that linebacker shoots before your defensive end, you got to squeeze. The tackle might have to squeeze. And the left side is the man side. Right. So people want to know, for instance, you see the tackle squeeze really quick and that defensive end comes really fast. It's because it's the rules. The tackle has a choice to make. The defensive end, he can pump fake me and let the linebacker shoot through and kill my quarterback, or I make the defensive end hoping the defensive end drops if that linebacker is coming through that gap. So people have, as a tackle, you have a split second to make a decision to either save your quarterback and be, right, because that guy's hauling, that linebackers, they're not heavy. They're 230. They run like running backs.
Quickest way to 2 points, straight line too, boy.
Fast. He's shooting right downhill on the snap. So he has to make a decision, or I'm going to get a defensive end that's like a little bit heavier, a little bit slower, hoping my quarterback can spin out of it instead of somebody right in your face. So it's a hard decision to make. You always want to protect inside out. So people don't realize that. They're like, why y'all didn't block him? Like, no, it's a way. It's a
not
reason.
My job.
Yeah,
not my job.
It's not my job. And like sometimes running backs mess up protection. Right. The running back will run into the offensive lineman, or he can't chip. Every running back doesn't like pass pro. So it's all those things that come into it that you gotta understand, because we constantly talking to each other like, hey, lineman's line, like, hey, don't walk in the back of me. Like, hey, running the ball is a different story, but pass pro, like, Just find what you need, scan. The running back has to scan off of what you don't have. So he starts one way and he scans across. And if his scan takes longer than it needs, that can possibly lead to a sack from that guy he's supposed to pick up.
So O-line, what would you say is the most important relationship that you have with a player on the field? Who would that be?
Obviously your quarterback, number one.
Okay, I just want to make sure. I didn't know if it was the center, the person next to you, the tackle if you're playing guard.
The quarterback, the center in certain offenses is basically the quarterback too.
Right.
He's gonna make sure things set. He's gonna he's gonna look at you. Hey, you sure you want to run this? I might think we need to change it. Now, you've seen there's viral clips of Jason Kelsey telling Jalen Hurts, no, run this. No, change it. It's because at a certain point, it's the center, if he's really good and he's older, he's seen everything. Mm-hmm. You can't surprise him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the things you deal with. And then as another thing, as an offensive lineman, you're running back. I always try to tell my running back, especially when I was in college, I had a great running back, Liam Ford. I'm like, hey, look, like, follow me on this. When I play guard, I was like, hey, look at me right here. I'm a torque them like this, or I'm going to eject them like this so you can hit it right here. Mm-hmm. That communication and constant, like, understanding so they know where you're blocking, how you're trying to block it, and so it allows them to, read accordingly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they just not like, running in nothing.
So obviously you only been on 2 teams I know right now, mm-hmm. with the Raiders and of course Seattle. But based on their quarterback play, mm-hmm. is there any one better than the other? Did you not get along with any of them? And what would that be like? Like getting on a team and really not care for the quarterback, but your job is to protect them.
It has to be when your quarterback has to be really, 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 really like a bad guy for you not to get along, because quarterbacks know if you say the 5 starters, say you're a dig to the 5 starters. Mm-hmm. That's a bad day for you. Right. Because when you fall on the ground or getting hit late, like, they're not going to plead for you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
So they ever try to butter you up? Like, you new guy come in, quarterback come up to you like, oh, the big Curtis, man. I can tell he's a new guard coming up. I better let me take you out for steak dinner, man. Let me have a little fun with you.
And it ain't just one person. It's everybody. He takes everybody. One thing that surprised me being undrafted was like Jimmy. Like, I came in with Aiden O'Connell. Aiden O'Connell, he was playing for the rest of the year in Vegas. My guy, like, I said that we was on scout team together. Mm-hmm. And then Jimmy and, Hoyer, Jimmy goes, McClendon, what's up? I'm like, he knows my name. Now, you mean? I'm like, because I'm undrafted. I'm not really cared for it. In my opinion,
Right, sure. That's your thoughts,
yeah,
right?
So he was like, hey, McClendon, what's up? And I'm like, nothing much. Just, having a conversation with Jimmy all the time. And then, like, when we played Dallas in preseason, he was like, I got y'all some Texas barbecue. So the whole line and even the little offense assistants and stuff like that all came and ate.
That's nice.
Y'all just, fellowship. When I got to Seattle, like Drew, Gino was cool. I met Gino, talking to him and get to know him, hearing his cadence. And then Drew is one I dealt with more because I was with the 2s. So, like, Drew would run the 2s. Like, he was real cool. Drew was, like, down to earth and everything. And me and him would talk and chop it up. So it was just pretty cool getting to know both of them. Every quarterback I've had has been pretty good guys. You
mentioned the cadence. How different is the cadence? Because there's all craziness stuff going on now. Yeah. These quarterbacks are saying whatever they want to say now. What's the difference for that, and why is that?
It's just to help us out because those guys on the end, man, they call them monsters. Yeah. Like, you got your Myles Garrett, you got your Micah, you got running 4-3. Mm-hmm. Like, you got to switch it up. So everybody's different. So when I first got to Seattle, I'm like, what's the cadence? Like, I'm telling you, I got off the plane, I'm right there. We literally haven't had food. I'm like, okay, we're in practice. So I hear the person out go, hey, what is it? I'm like, what is he saying? And he gets under there, ready to go. And
ready to go.
And then I was like, okay, all right. And then so we get in the huddle for the first time. It's my time to get up there. I'm like, what is it? Tell me what the cadence is. He's like, oh yeah, I forgot you knew. On 1. So, down there, and Drew more clear than Gino was at the time because Gino's been doing it. As you get guys get more comfortable, they just say it how they want to. So Drew's like, green 80, green say hut, we're good. And then green 80 say cut, go.
That's it.
But like it's my first time hearing it. It sounds simple, but you hearing it from Jimmy or Aiden, it's like, oh, I gotta get on this.
People don't realize on the field how much noise there is too.
Yeah.
As an old lineman, you're not just sharing, the noise from your quarterback, but you got the guy across from you saying, "I'm coming at you, boy. I got you." You know what I'm saying? Like I'm coming right at you. And you got the people in the stands, and you got the noise, and you got, you hear all the cheering. Like it gets to the point where it does get hard.
Yeah, and people don't realize we are talking to each other first.
Right.
Yeah, we're sitting there. What you say you got? Who's the mic? And then like if we rushing, that's why it's so important we get in and out the huddles, because it's like you looking around, you see them heads turn. It's like, this is what we got. This is where we going. And it might be wrong. It's like, well, we got 3 seconds left. We need to get
You got to figure it out.
Figure it out.
Quick.
2 seconds timeout.
Right.
just block man.
Right. Well, and you know what? That's why communication is so important.
Yeah.
And I'll tell that to any athlete that's out there. Like, you got to be able to communicate. Like, you can be the greatest athlete in the world, but if you can't communicate it, you're gonna struggle some. You're gonna struggle some. You know what I mean? Regardless of that. So what was the funniest thing that ever happened? That you got to witness and see as a rookie? Because being a rookie, I mean, was there any hazing and stuff going on? Did you make you go sing or something? Like, what'd you have to do, man?
So Vegas was very traditional. I had a lot of go by after we started getting paid. Like season started. One, we had to keep snacks in the room. And
what kind of snacks?
Man,
like fillets and ribeyes, or you get chips and dips?
We got blessed. We got blessed as we were undrafted, so we had to just get Oreos. Like we got all the little variety. Whatever they said they wanted, we went and got it at Costco. Okay. And the vets, they were really good about giving us our money back, because they knew we didn't make a lot of money yet.
I was just gonna say, you had to pay for that, or
we'll pay it, but they'll help us out and give the money back. So that room was great. Getting their stuff, I didn't mind. There was some vets who would push it to a T, or I want you to go to this store and get my certain. My boy Greg, he was a right guard. He came in from, I want to say Buffalo. Greg he's a 12-year vet, so he's seen the harsh of the harsh. So Greg was trying to send us all around Vegas to get stuff. So we had to go to Whole Foods and get Stumptown's coffee cold brew. I still remember to this day. If you see this, Greg, you scarred me. But those little coffees, man, were about $4 or $5 a little can, like your little Dr. Pepper can. And so we had to go get them. He said, I wanted these during training camp. I want to grab these. I need these kind of chips. So I get French onion dip out of Walmart. Gets the French onion dip, doesn't really eat it.
Right. It was just to do it.
Just to do it.
Brandon Jacobs was on, pod with us. He said a similar thing. I asked him what it was like when he was a rookie and what kind of haze and stuff. He's like, yeah, he said they would want us to go get breakfast sandwiches. And he's like, I would have to drive past the stadium, 30 minutes to go pick it up and bring it back. And he goes, finally, I was like, listen, I'll just give you guys the money and just grab it on the way in, because you live right next door to it and stuff. But that was a no-no. But he was able to get away with it because of his status at the time.
Yeah, they are like that. So when we started my first week, they were like, yeah, y'all gonna start getting us donuts. So me and my boy Dalton split. He said, I'm gonna do the donuts, you do the Chick-fil-A. So he had to go. They didn't want just Krispy Kreme. They wanted bakery style good donuts. Because in Vegas, they got some good donuts.
They got some good donuts in Vegas. They got some good. Vegas, my second home, man. I love Vegas.
Got some good donuts. So I had to get Chick-fil-A, and I I spent maybe $300-$400 on Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
And I had to get it for them. I had to get, and whatever was left would go to EQ and the training room.
Oh yeah.
So we love taking care of them. They because they sacrifice a lot. Yeah, they take care of us. Now, when we went to dinners, it made it all worth it when we went to O-line dinner, because O-line dinner was expensive, good, and we knew we didn't have to pay.
Yeah. Now, what's it like being in Vegas and playing in Vegas? Because Vegas, obviously, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. It's also Sin City, as they say it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of temptations there.
Yeah.
What was that like? And what's it like with some of the players and stuff? Because let's be honest, there's a lot of great restaurants, a lot of great food, but there's a lot of other cool things that they can be doing. They'll be tying up their time, and that might turn into something that could go the wrong direction.
Yep.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. They scared us almost pretty much straight off back. And it wasn't like they were yelling at us, but they basically put it like this. The other things to do in Vegas, so one, we always know women is a big thing, regardless of where you are. So they were like, hey, look, you know how y'all study film and watch film? These women study you and watch you. These women know who you are. They know what they're doing. So, like, and I was trying to make sure, like, now, you know, people know it's being real. Prostitution is legal in Vegas. So we were out, and, like, one time I was in the club with one of the guys and the vets, and I was like, somebody grabbed me. We was in the section. I got grabbed. And I was like, hi, you know, I'm not rude. But like, don't grab me.
Right.
And so I'm like, she was like, oh, what's your name? I was like, oh, Lordy, here we go. So I said, guys, is this what I think it is? And like, I said to them, they said, bro, you are hilarious. Because I'm not.
You didn't know.
I don't know. I'm not going for that.
Right.
I didn't care. And from that point, man, we knew Josh Jacobs took us to dinner, the O-line, and we saw everybody how they looked at us. And everybody made their way to walk past our room where we were eating. When we walked all together out of there, they were like, it was just waiting. Like, and you see it. You know who it is. It's older men and a woman that's like my age.
Right.
Together. And we're like, either she's that or is that. So, you know, it wasn't bad, but you had to be very aware.
Right. You know, did they do anything though to keep you guys away from some of that stuff? Like, were you not able to go places, or when you went places, they had private, you know, sections and stuff? Like, let's just talk about gambling. Obviously, there's a lot of gambling goes on there, and I'm sure a lot of your players and friends and people like to gamble as well. Are you allowed to go to the strip and just go out to the strip and just, you know?
Can't go in, what's it called, sports books?
Yeah.
So I never will walk in the sports book.
Right.
But you can, like, regular gamble. You can gamble on stuff because obviously, you know, it's there. But we were in sports books were no. And that's like all year long, I believe, by the NFL. So never went in there.
Yeah, you don't want to get Pete Rosed. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's not worth it in my opinion. I ain't got that kind of money just to be blowing. Or missing.
Right.
Missing, you know what I'm saying? So,
right. But did they say, like, you know, obviously we'll just take like the MGM. Did they say, listen, if you go to MGM, there's a back door, go through the back door. They'll have a private room there just for you know, ball players and stuff like that. Or are you out with the regulars?
Yeah, with general public.
Yeah, with general public.
They know who you are. They may not know exactly who you are, but they know you would do something in Vegas. You play.
Well, listen, you can't hide. You're 6'6", 340 pounds, right?
So
you're doing something.
Yeah, but we would get like our own table where it's like our own thing. Nobody else is involved, just us, just being by ourselves, man. You know, it wasn't nothing crazy like where you had to hide and stuff like that. Only time it'd be like that was with food. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I got spoiled in Vegas because every time we ate, we were in our own room, unless it was like the Delilah at the Wynn Hotel. Have you been to that?
Oh yeah, of course.
That was a nice,
super nice. Yeah,
nice. I like that. So I got to go back.
And yeah, you better have some reservations too.
Man, look,
you better have them a year in advance.
Yeah, I don't know how we got in, but he was like, Colton was like, "You going? You'll be there. Come on." So
yeah.
I was like, okay.
Well, now we know how you got in.
Hey, that's all I need to know.
So listen, you're general public. You're walking around. Somebody asks you, "Hey man, what do you do?" What do you tell them?
I like to mess around.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you don't tell them like, I'll play, but what do you tell them? What's your line? Like, what do you do?
Security. There's a few things. It's security. It's tennis is just off the wall, like being a butthole. But
tennis. You say I'm a tennis player.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it.
I
would say a nurse. You should say you're a nurse. I'm a nurse. I take care of people.
That's true. I hit them with the security, or I'm a cook.
A cook?
Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of food do you cook? Then you start answering questions.
I actually can cook. So that's
oh, can you? Oh, you can cook.
That's the whole trip.
What do you enjoy cooking?
Man, I ain't gonna lie, my sesame chicken's pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Sesame chicken.
Oh man, look, I'm getting hungry. It's about that time, anyways, man. We have to try. We might have to try some of that.
Don't get me started. Yeah.
Well, food with me though, I can't pay the $700 fine because I will gain the weight right away and stuff with that. But that's amazing. I can't believe that. It's kind of good that they do that because you have restrictions, so they can tell you, hey, don't go over this. Is there the same thing with curfew? Like you have curfews and stuff?
During training camp.
Okay.
Guys go out and like what it does is just keeps you in the hotel longer. Some coaches are real cool. Like you stay in there the first 2 weeks. Y'all do good on curfew. I'll let y'all go back to y'all cribs.
Yeah.
Rookies usually stay. You know, I did something. I caught like all these punts. And I got the whole offense. So I'm thinking the whole offense finna be off, get to go to their house and everything tonight. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm going to the crib, sleep in this bed I just got. Man. And he goes, everyone but the rookies.
Oh, so that was it.
So,
Now, of course, next year you're not a rookie anymore. You know, going back there. Now you're going back to Seattle. When does camp start?
camp was like, I want to say August.
August?
Yeah, August.
So what happens in the off season? Do you get to go home? You get to do whatever you want? Or there's some restrictions with that as well?
I mean, you get drug tested any time, but besides that, I mean, I'm not worried about that.
They can drug test you anywhere. So you're at home, they can call you up, say, tomorrow I need you to go somewhere.
There's literally a guy. So I was put my address on the app, on the PA site or the NFL site, drug site, and they tell you any trip you're taking, you need to put down because some guys went on a cruise one time, and supposedly the guy was waiting on him at the dock of the cruise.
What?
And made him pee right there on the.
Oh, that's so horrible.
Yeah.
That's so horrible, man. Why would they do that? That's not even fair.
But that makes, some guys will have to come back in the country.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Well, you're going overseas too, and that could be a problem as well. You know how we talk about temptation and stuff, but man, Vegas, man, I just see so much there, and I'd be like, wow, it's got to be really hard to play, especially if you're making money.
Yeah.
If you're making good money, like it's that place could take it real quick too.
They can, but the people are great, man. I ain't gonna lie. A lot of the people when we went to eat, not even just like the high end spots, but just Henderson area, where the facility is, I was blessed. I was eating good.
Yeah.
I was eating good, but I wasn't worried about gambling, man. I had a budget.
Yeah.
You know, budget, set myself here, and like, you know, ain't no reason to just throw it away. You got, and then plus the vets would be so nice and take care of us. They were like, here y'all go, just like play with this.
Now, what happens as far as like living arrangements? Now, do you have to find your own place? Do they pay for that? Does that come out of your salary? How does that work?
So like, you know, if guys play there and they have houses that they pay for, like some teams, guys have like real estate. And what they'll do is like guys will be like, hey, like any player can stay in this house. This is the rent. Like this is what they need to do. Or like
kind of like fraternity.
Yeah, and you go find your own stuff too. You know, they suggest apartments. There's player personnel. There's all that who help you. Basically, they send you a packet of how to get adjusted to the area, where to stay, where not to stay. And like we had a guy, Don, in Vegas who was so good at his stuff. He would do a background check on the neighborhood and the people around you.
Gotcha.
Like he was so connected.
Right.
So, you know, that area you lived in, and like in Seattle too, shoot, they tell you don't go past a certain exit. And you think up north for real, but like one of my boys got his car broken into, so they weren't lying.
Right. Yeah, that's stuff can happen, man. It can happen anywhere, but there's always a good part of town and a bad part of town, right? You know, so knowing you have living arrangements and stuff, obviously, you married at all? Children, anything? Nothing? No. So you're sold. Some of the, obviously, your teammates probably are.
Yeah.
Do you see them having, they uproot their families, or no? Do they have two different homes, two different places, or how does that typically work?
One of my guys I know for sure, he has a home. His home is in Arizona. And when he plays in season and comes back, either he'll stay in a hotel or he'll rent an apartment out after like training camp. So guys do that. Me, since it's just me right now and I haven't bought, you know, a house yet, I just kept my apartment in Seattle.
Hey, folks, this is WamBam at WamBams Podcast. I just wanted to let you know that we've launched our website and merchandise is now available to you. That's right. We have hats. We have T-shirts. We have hoodies. The hoodies have been going off the shelf already. The Stay Positive hoodies. That's right. Stay positive, folks, and keep tested negative. As you know, go to our website at www.wambamspodcast.com. That's www.wambamspodcast.com. Now back to our show. Yeah. Cool. Now, out of all the stadiums you've been in, because you've been through all of them now, what's your favorite one?
Oh, my what?
The stadiums that you've gone.
Oh,
yeah, stadiums to play and stuff.
Okay.
What's your favorite one to go to?
Dang, hold on. I ain't gonna lie. Lumen Field, man.
Yeah.
Home field. To be open, like has that little opening right over the middle. Field is ridiculously loud, and I love it.
Yeah.
Like getting the crowd turned for the game is amazing. As far as aesthetics, Jerry's is pretty nice.
Yeah.
His world is pretty nice.
Yeah, Dallas got a pretty solid place to be. Now, how as far as being treated, being a visitor, being treated in the different places, what do other teams do for you? Like, do they provide you food, buffets, those types of things, or is that all through your own organization?
I think they just contact the arena staff. My organization does, and we love these little Hawaiian sandwiches on the baby Hawaiian rolls.
Oh, yeah?
Literally a slice of cheese, ham, or turkey. We take the little mayo and mustard, but I ain't gonna lie, that's probably the best sandwich I eat.
That's so funny you saying that. You're so big. You're like that little bitty sandwich.
Wrap,
you probably eat about 30 of them suckers, pop them in like they're popcorn.
You can't go crazy because you want everybody to get some. So like let me be easy. I take 2 to 3, and then like guys taking like, because everybody gonna eat it.
Right.
You know, it's really
but are you do you have to use, like, for example, if you go to visit, say, let's just say you go to Cowboy Stadium and they're providing food. Do they provide the food for you, or
some stadiums if their stuff is that well and like that good, we'll do catering through them.
I just wonder, like, would that be kind of a scare tactic? Like, oh shoot, they're gonna feed us not so good because they want you to get sick on the field. It may affect your play.
They know we won't eat that if we don't want to.
So
yeah,
it is the NFL. But I bet you back in college, boy, there's some people did some dirty things. They do what they need to do to win.
Locker room.
Yeah.
All that. So
let's talk about the locker room. What's the difference between locker room in college versus the NFL?
College, I say, man, it's just wild. I mean, it's wild still. Both spots is wild. Okay, college. Depending on where you at, we had a really good dynamic at Chat, and offense and defense did really good at like being a one. We used to not be that way, but we got to a point where we were one, and I love that. Now NFL, so far I've learned like everybody has their own routine, and it's like different. Like college, you have your routine, but you got your position. Go everybody like, you ready? You ready? You ready? Like in college, NFL is like you maybe have like offensive linemen go warm up together and do that. D linemen, but everybody else like receivers, all that, they do their own thing to a certain extent. Like some guys don't even come out until like it's time we got to go out. So it's all different.
It's all different. So you don't get that team unity though. Now it's more of a
you do. You still do. Yeah, in a way, you still do.
What's it like when somebody shows up? Like they just show up, week before the first game because they got traded. Is that a little awkward, or tell me what those receptions are like?
The funniest thing was when we played the Giants. So we played the Giants on our bye week, and then Leonard Williams was traded to us. Something like that. Yeah, Leonard Williams was traded. But what's funny is the right guard, my boy AB, him and Leonard got into it on the field. Like physical. And so we were like, Coach Carroll was hyping. He was like, "Hey, yeah, he's here now, yeah." And like, but they cool. It's so funny. Leo is a great guy. He's a great guy, man. He got me better, but like that stuff, like them going out there, like you can tell it's a little difference because Leo didn't get he didn't get a bye week.
Yeah,
he played a lot, like straight. No bye week. We went on bye week. That he played with them. Came with us the next week and then kept playing every game he played. So, is
there anything in the contract as far as that goes? As far as time played, if you play more time, you get paid more money. Or if you don't get hurt, they give you some bonuses, that type of thing. Are those in there?
Yeah, there's a roster bonus, and then there's a such thing. And so for me, I was undrafted, right? So the blessing about that is if I play, my player performance will be way higher. So like per snap, it'll be like $500 to maybe like $1,000 depending on where you are per snap. And like say guys play like 190 snaps and like 500. I don't know how much that is, but
right. Well, so yeah, that's like 300,000 for that.
Yeah,
in that range. Yeah,
it's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it adds up.
That's basically another salary you get to make up from like not getting.
So you're like, hey Pete, let's not throw the ball here real quick. Let's just drive this ball down the field a little bit more so we get a few more snaps in.
Yeah, look, and it happens over time, man. You seen guys playing like 1,000-some snaps. So it's interesting.
Yeah. What has been the biggest challenge for you as an athlete? Being in the NFL and going from one team to the other, but what do you find are your biggest challenges as far as fitting in and earning your spurs there?
I knew I didn't have to be different because I'm a person easy to get along with, so I was just very cool, very chill. Like I'm not gonna go in there and be like a know-it-all. Even in college, I want to know it all, so I was just like opening to learn. I asked questions. I'd be like, "What you think?" How you feel about this? So that helped me out because rookies sometimes come in and be, especially if they draft the first round, they're like, I'm gonna do what I want to do. And that's certain people have certain personalities. Not all first round picks are like that or whatever, but sometimes people are. So you learn the vet's gonna have to humble you.
Right.
You know?
Now, being that you're in Seattle and was your favorite team, it's a dream of yours. How would you feel about tomorrow they called you up and said, listen, we just traded you, but you're going to start for so-and-so. What team would you want to be traded to?
I don't even know. Shoot, I ain't gonna lie. I wouldn't mind playing with like KC or Green Bay. Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
Wisconsin is off like that is that's random. I know people like that's random. My best friend, one of my best friends, she would love that. She likes Green Bay.
Yeah.
Since we were younger, so she would love that. But yeah.
Well, they turned around some things. They got a pretty decent team this year.
They do.
They finished strong for sure. You know, with the whole Aaron Rodgers thing, everybody didn't know how they were going to turn out and what they were going to be. But
them to lose to the Bears.
Yeah.
Could have got into the playoffs.
I know.
Sensitive topic.
That's cool. I hear. Now, so what do you do in the off time? Obviously, you know what? Making money in NFL, it's always, you know, it's pretty or it's bad. But either way, you got to do something with it. What do you do in the off season, or do they give you any structure as far as business wise? What to do with your money? As you know, money makes money.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you play practice squad, you only get paid once. You get paid those 18 weeks. You get active, get paid like 36 weeks or something like that. And so you pay to a certain extent, but like me, for right now, I don't have anything I'm invested in yet. Just really saving my money.
What do you find some of the guys in there? Do any of the older guys and the wealthier guys, I should say, getting these big fat contracts and these bags? You know they're wearing the $150,000 watches and stuff like that. Like, do you ever go to them and ask them for advice or find out what they're doing?
Tyler Lockett, Gino. I know Tyler Lockett has a lot of real estate stuff, so like I talk to him and see what he does. But like right now, you kind of got to build, unless it's just like a project you gonna hop in. But I did something safe. I put my stuff in like my certificates.
Yeah,
I have like a certificate. I got Navy Federal, so put my stuff in their certificate and like kind of seeing what I get grown on them. Because Navy, man, look, Navy don't play.
There you go. That's right.
Just something simple, nothing crazy yet. I'm gonna probably take that out, then like play with it. I want to buy a house first, but
you see yourself ever opening up a restaurant? You said you like to cook.
I do, but the thing is, I have to be there.
Yeah,
because I'm gonna want stuff to be a certain way.
Maybe 15 years from now. 10 years, a little bit longer. We said that. Yeah. Or food truck. There you go. Yeah. You need a big ass food truck. Get you in it.
Man, look, we're going to have an RV.
It has to be. It has to be. Oh, man, that'd be funny as heck. So, what does your future look like for you? I mean, if you could just, script it out exactly the way you want it to be, what would it be?
After football, during football?
During football. Like right now, starting right now. Like, boom, the next 5 years of your life, and then 5 years after that.
Starter, man. Starter is the number one goal. And just really being a guy that does whatever to help the team win. That's just me. I don't care wherever I'm at. As long as you give me a chance to practice at it, the offensive line, defensive line, I don't care. Yeah. As long as I get to play, help out. That's goal one. And like if that doesn't happen, like at least be in a spot where I know I can get in a little bit here and there. But we're putting number one very,
So what's it going to take to be number one? Have you broken it down? Have you sat down and said, you know what, I got to do X, Y, and Z for me to excel and to grow? I mean, do you watch a lot of film of yourself? Do you watch film of your components?
I watch a lot of film of myself since I wasn't playing a lot, and then I would watch the opponent as well because I like watching film. I like understanding what somebody's gonna do because even though I'm not on the field, I want to be able to help guys out playing on the field, seeing what I saw on film. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like you at the end of the day, that's your teammate. Who's playing. Like you should want to help them.
But not only that, but the truth of the matter is you don't know when you're going to get called.
Yeah.
God forbid something happens, because it does. They roll an ankle, something happens, gets down. You're next guy up. Yep. You got to be ready to go. And isn't it better? Ali used to say that. He's like, he got to a point where they were playing the conference people 2-3 times with playoffs and everything else, and got to a point where you knew what was going to come. Yeah. You knew what was happening and stuff. And he studied film a lot because he wanted to know, hey, if he does this is what I'm doing. Yep. Type of attitude. Yep. So there's that true with most O linemen.
Yeah, and everybody has a tendency because what's funny is like everybody's good at something. You know, yeah, guys get you on for a one-off move they've been working on, but most of the time they're going to go to their bread and butter because it's not like one-on-ones. One-on-ones, a guy can work anything and possibly win. And a game, he's trying to get to the quarterback because there's a certain amount of time, and I'm keeping you away. So, like, either you're going to bull me, you're going to long arm me, you're going to spin. Like, if you're interior, it's like it's a hard, you know, you get a spin in the interior unless you Aaron Donald or cross chop, something like that. It's all these certain things you got to expect.
What's your weakness?
Weakness, shoot, I'll probably say me being inside, being so much taller than guys that are usually inside.
Yeah.
Just trying to stay low.
You guys, okay, getting lower.
Yeah, staying lower. Then I'll say that.
Yeah. Okay.
I stay pretty low for being my height. But besides that, I say that's really it.
That's it. What about your strength?
I feel like my strength is really good. Just keep working on my initial twitchiness. Twitchiness off the ball, coming from a stagnant, you know, standing still spot and stuff like that. As offensive lineman, and just twitching up, getting into it, and moving them.
Now, do you find yourself hungrier now to make yourself better than you did 5 years ago? Maybe when you were in high school, I was in college, because now you're in the NFL. You know what it's like. You have an opportunity. Do you find yourself more driven, or you know, or is it you just trying to kind of just, hey, I want to be part of the team?
Yeah.
Or do you actually focus in on what's your off season like?
I mean, I work out every day. Sometimes it's twice a day, and like Gannon to hear me, Gannon be like, "Really, with Curt, why you do that?"
Yeah.
And like, and it'd be like me go playing basketball, and it's not like, yeah, I like enjoy it, but it's conditioning. You know what I'm saying? That's conditioning for me, playing against little guys. Going to the field and doing sets in my workouts, doing core, all those things. Like, man, I ain't gonna lie to you. As you said, like, am I hungrier now? I would say I've constantly been hungry in a sense, because I don't like letting people down. As far as for me personally, I don't like letting myself down, but like also like the people that view me and like this opportunity you have, you want to maximize it as best as you can. So that's just a thing of mine, and I know God's gonna take care of me. I am not worried about that. So that's how I look at it. Like, put the work in, you work hard, make sure you do your part, take care of your body the best you can while you're here, and kind of work those numbers to get to where you want to be before season. But whatever's gonna be done is in God's hands, you know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna work hard, like you say. You know, fruits without work, it ain't gonna, you know, happen.
All right. Well, you know, one thing that you mentioned as far as taking care of your body, and I tell the young kids all the time, like, recovery is almost as more important as warming up, you know, type of thing. Because if you don't recover and take care of your body, then, you know, that's your temple, that's your money, that's what's going to get you going and stuff. And some of these kids today don't realize that. They got to practice, and they just can't wait to run to Chick-fil-A or get their food and do those types of things. Where, you know, get an ice bath, you know, get some extra stretching, do some compressions and stuff. What do you do to take care of your body?
Pretty much for me, man, I prime it up. But while I was in Vegas, I had this lady, Miss Lou Jean. She actually lives out here. She would warm me up, basically, like, get my body reset, and then for recovery after practice, I'll be in the training room, bro. I live in the training room. Yeah. Especially if the training room was a great environment to be in, that's what I would do. But now it's like, I go home after practice, I do my ice bath, I do my what's it called, cold tub or hot tub, really, with Epsom salt bath and all that, and arthritis alcohol. Yeah. And then I get in my compressions, and then I'll maybe sleep in my compression sleeves, like leg sleeves, something like that, and then stretch, just roll out, get the little roller, roll out the little knots in my legs, and then get my body worked on my off day.
So you actually roll out with roller stuff? So I tell these kids all the time, they're like, man, pros ain't doing that stuff. I said, yes, they are. That's why they're pros.
Yeah, roll my feet out with the little lacrosse ball. I love that. And then, like, these little yoga toes, Miss Eugene told me to get that kind of like resets your toes. We always have our feet like this. And so when you're in shoes and cleats, your feet are like this, and your feet supposed to be spread like this. Yeah. So I always spreading my feet to reset my foot. So I won't get foot injuries.
Well, that's good. Well, you know, one last thing I do want to talk about when you're around people, because people can affect other people. And sometimes you get in situations that, you know, you probably shouldn't be in, or you didn't realize you were going to be in, and then you are. Has that ever happened to you as a player? being surrounded by people and end up in a place that you really didn't want to be. And how'd you handle that, and what'd you do?
Yeah, sometimes it happens. I'm not a person that I don't care for the scenery or as you say, the limelight. I'm just like, I'm cool, I'm respectful, I'm kind. So sometimes I end up in situations where like maybe I'm with like Tariq Woolen or something like that. Like he's a known guy. Like I'm like, everybody's happy to see him. I'm like, I'm just his security. I'm just security. But like I'm just really, I'm cool. So I'm always gonna respect people. Like you can't control what somebody's gonna do at the end of the day. But like if you treat them with kindness and not shrug them off and be arrogant and stuff like that, they won't have it kind of really can't enable that sense of them being upset or feeling like you think you're better than me, when in all honesty some people do think that, but like me, I'm offensive lineman, bro. We don't we're about human as you're gonna get. We don't care too much.
Yeah,
it's like we do our job, we look nice, we like to dress nice, and then we go home. We like to enjoy ourselves a little bit, but more so ours like, let's go eat something good together and relax. But besides that, man, just treat people like people, man.
That's great. That's great. Well, Curtis, you're a great person, man. Is awesome. Just hearing you talk, you can tell you're such a humble guy, and I'm excited to see where you go. What are you doing now, obviously? I know you got some camps going on. You got some other things happening. Tell us a little bit about that and your give back.
So for me, I love giving back. So July 12th and 13th, I'm going to do 2 days of camp. So I'm going to have to reach out to some guys that I know. But one day, it's going to be in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So one day I want to do a camp basically where I get all the summer camps around the city, inner city, and grab them and kind of just work with them and let them see like, hey, there's, not just athletically, but that business side, school side, like understand that education is important. And we want to teach them that, like, hey, look, I did this to get here. Like, they ask questions. Like, the questions you think they don't care about, they just think you care about ball. It's not that. And then the next day, the 13th, to be more so like the general public, getting everybody out there and just having a great time, man. Seeing the kids happy, that's all I care about.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Well, we'll make sure we post that, man, and we're supporting you. Looking forward to seeing you in that Seattle Seahawks uniform, seeing you on that, in that big stadium and stuff. In fact, we may even come down there and root you on, man, because I got a good feeling that you got good things ahead of you, man. I love the way you're carrying yourself. I know Gannon and John's got you working hard in the off season, so they're going to get you right and ready, and you just keep doing what you're doing, and I'm sure you're going to be a force to be reckoned with. So we're going to hear that name again. So, well, there you have it, folks. You got it. Seattle Seahawks offensive lineman. You're not going to forget this guy. As he said to you immediately, stay humble, man. Stay humble. Respect the people that you're around. Know your surroundings, and don't let nobody get to you. And you know what? As WamBam always says, if your life was a movie, would it be worth watching? And if the answer is no, then stop being ordinary and start being extraordinary. And remember, as always, stay positive, baby, and keep testing negative. Till next Wednesday, I'm your boy WamBam, and I'm out. This podcast was brought to you by Cost Plus Processing, the leader in merchant processing. Call 1-855-391-9190 and find out why they are the future in